guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be testing out the brand new Maybelline foundation. I'm pretty sure that this is like a twist on their old Superstay foundation, but this is the Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. This one's meant to be incredibly full coverage. It's meant to be incredibly long wearing, obviously 24 hours of wear. It's also meant to make your skin look like freaking amazing. So I was like, I need to test that. Now from what I can tell from the Maybelline website, it comes in 14 different shades. They say it is their Superstay 24-hour foundation, high pigment, long wear, full coverage foundation that corrects visible flaws to transform skin. It says the champion of long wear just got better. High pigment, long wear, full coverage, matte finish, flawless base for 24 hours. I'm just like, give it to me. Now their instructions say to apply it with their fingers. We all know I'm not about that life at all. So I'm going to apply it to one side of my face with a beauty blender and the other side with a kabuki brush. And I'm also going to try it out with the Maybelline Superstay Primer. I've already used and I love this, but these two are kind of meant to work together. And then I'm going to set it with a Maybelline powder. Today's review is going to be very much like all of my other foundation reviews where I test the product out over 3 different days with different primers and different powders to see how well it really works. So probably tomorrow I might use my Holy Grail primer and powder, and then maybe on day 3 I'll use some products that don't work with me, and we're just going to see how the foundation works with those things. So yes, I guess I better stop rambling and let's jump straight into the review. So just going in with the Superstay Primer first. This one is an extremely liquidy primer, but I do really like it. I've been testing it and wearing it for, I don't know, probably a few weeks now, and it does work really well. I can't actually tell from the Maybelline website whether or not this is targeted towards normal skin, dry skin, oily skin. Doesn't really say, and it doesn't say on the bottle either. So 30 mils in this one. I have got the shade 36 Warm Sun. Let's jump in and apply it. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's sort of like really, I don't know, kind of basic glass bottle, white cap. Then you remove the cap and there is a little pump nozzle. As far as consistency goes, this one is quite thick. Actually, damn, this color looks really, really good. So I'm going to apply it on this side with the beauty blender and see how we go. This is my preferred way of applying foundations, but it's always good to test both. Oh my gosh, it looks really, really nice on the skin. Definitely full coverage. Like, I have used hardly any of that product, and look how much of my face that has covered. Oh my goodness. So many brands are bringing out these full coverage foundations now. About time, sister. We see ya. Holy cow. Oh my god, this is so full coverage. Look how much product is still in the back of my hand. Like, I have barely touched it and it's pretty well covering my entire face. Oh my gosh. That is insane. So I initially put 2 pumps of foundation on the back of my hand. I've hardly used any of that. We're covered. Oh my gosh. And it sets down to this really beautiful velvety feel. So it's going to be one of those foundations that if you're not like super, super oily like I am, you're probably not going to have to set it. Like, oh, it looks so good. Oh, I'm excited. I'm going to go in with a kabuki brush and apply it to the other side of my face and see if there's a difference in coverage or texture. On this side, it hasn't emphasized enlarged pores or anything. My skin looks really nice and smooth. It's definitely a matte finish, but there's definitely still some life to the skin. Like, there's a slight glow. It looks really, really good. Oh, man. All right. And I'm taking the last of the product. I feel like it definitely goes further when you use a beauty blender. But, you know, part of that is going to be my brush kind of absorbing that excess foundation. That looks good, you guys. That looks really, really good. It's covered up that whole side of my face as well. I do definitely feel like I got better coverage using the Beauty Blender sponge. I just feel like it looks a lot smoother on this side, but it typically does with every foundation on my skin. So, yeah, whether or not that's just me or, you know, personal preference, that's going to have to be your decision. But let's zoom in and have a close look. All right, so here is the side that I applied with the Beauty Blender. It looks really, really smooth. You can hardly see my pores. The coverage is incredible. It's dried down to a completely matte velvet finish. Like, it looks so good. And then this is the side applied with the kabuki brush. I feel like the other side looks a little better than this side. I feel like it just doesn't look quite as smooth. It's definitely a high coverage foundation. Let's have a little go at building it up even further to see how it goes, see if it gets cakey. But personally, for my preferences, I would be happy with this. All right, I'm just gonna take another pump and we're gonna go back in and see how it goes with layering. Definitely covered my redness really well. I've got a fair bit of acne going on at the minute. Hello, Mother Nature and hormones. You're awesome. Oh, it layers beautifully as well. I feel like my skin's just looking more and more perfect the more product that I'm applying. Oh my gosh. Yes, Maybelline. All right, this is what my skin is looking like. It is very full coverage, very flawless. It's really perfected my skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing a mask, but I do feel like my face has got some kind of filter on it. Like, it looks really, really beautiful. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll be right back to show you what it's looking like. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on now. I've powdered, I've put concealer on, and, you know, blush, bronzer, all of that. I still think that my skin is looking really, really nice. So as usual, I'm going to be wearing this all day long. I'm going to have it on for 12 hours, and then I'm going to come back tonight, show you what my skin is looking like. With my 3-day reviews, I don't do midday check-ins because then it turns into 3, 6, 9 check-ins, and the videos just end up being 40 minutes long. So we do morning and we do night on 3 separate days. So yes, I will see you guys tonight. Hey guys, so it's the end of the day here now, 10:24 at night. Let's have a close look at how my skin is doing. So looking from a distance in the mirror, it looks like it has really stayed in place. There's no real fading or transferring or anything. I'm definitely shiny through the center portion of my face, through the T-zone. I've got a lot of oil happening on my nose here. But at the same time, I mean, it hasn't broken up. Oh my God, it hasn't broken up. All right, let's have a close look. This is what my skin is looking like. As you can see, I've got a lot of oil through the T-zone, but the foundation has not shifted at all. It has stayed really, really well in place. I feel like despite the oils, it's held up really well. That settling that we had earlier on in the day is gone. It looks quite smooth. Damn, it hasn't transferred at all. Look, I'm not missing any patches of foundation anywhere. We've just been at the cinema. I've been leaning on my hand. Holy crap, I am really, really impressed with this. Definitely day 1 results, really, really impressive. Let's just quickly have a quick powder and see how it holds up with touch-ups, because there's no good in having a foundation that you can't touch up. Oh, so much oil. Oh my gosh, it touches up really nicely as well. I honestly feel like I've had better luck with drugstore foundations lately than I have with higher end foundations. Like, the drugstore is coming through. Now, this is a really sloppy way to touch up. I wouldn't even normally do it this way. I would blot, I would use a sponge, all the rest of it. But even just like going in quite roughly with a brush with a bit of powder, that foundation hasn't transferred at all. There's no red patches coming through. You know how normally when you touch up your nose, you get like this horrible red Rudolph nose? Hasn't happened. It doesn't look cakey. It hasn't separated. It looks beautifully smooth. Oh my God. Oh gosh, I've got red bloodshot eyes, don't I? Happens every time I go and see a movie. We saw Thor. It was so funny. Wasn't expecting that, but it was really funny. You guys, titties are shaking and quaking and bacon. Like, I'm impressed with this. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so back again for day 2 of testing, and I'm going to be starting out with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. This one, as you know, is my holy grail, basically all-time favorite primer, so I think it will be good to see how this one stacks up against the Maybelline foundation. You're going to have to excuse my slightly croaky voice today. I've decided that I'm going to take it as husky and sexy and endearing rather than freaking annoying. I don't know, I seem to be losing my voice at the minute. Why? I cannot tell you. And then applying the foundation over top of that, we're going to see whether or not there is a difference in how this wears, how this looks, how it sits, you know, all of that kind of stuff through the day. You know, whether or not using a more expensive, you know, primer that I know exactly how it works, underneath. I'm also not going to build it up with a second coat how I did yesterday, because I want to see sort of how it holds its own with only 1 coat. It's looking pretty damn good. The coverage is still incredible. It looks really beautiful and smooth and flawless on the skin. It looks good. So here is my skin close up. I think that my pores look really nice and minimized. It looks smooth, just like I said before. Now I'm going to be powdering with the Laura Mercier loose translucent powder, this one here. This is another one of my all-time holy grail products. It's so good for keeping the skin matte and just keeping makeup in place all day long. So I'm going to use that over the top, and I will come back after I have got all of my makeup on, including the powder, and show you what it looks like. All right, so I've got the rest of my makeup on now, and this is what my skin is looking like. I think that it still looks as good as it did yesterday. Very smooth, very matte, and I think I mean, my skin looked great yesterday, but I think I actually do prefer this foundation when you only apply 1 layer. Obviously, it's so full coverage, so you don't even need 2 layers. I kind of just wanted to test
test out yesterday how it kind of built up. But I am seriously liking how this is looking. It looks amazing. So yes, as per yesterday, what I'm going to do is wear it all day long, and then I'll be back tonight to show you guys what it's looking like and how oily I am and whether or not we've had any dramas throughout the day. So I will talk to you then. All right, so I'm back again at the end of day 2, and this is what my skin is looking at. Now, before we jump into it, I did do a flash test. Absolutely zero flashback with this foundation. I did do it on both days. So yeah, as you can see here, there's no flashback. It looks really nice under flash photography. But can we just take a minute? I am looking so matte. So matte. Now, admittedly, I've only had this foundation on for just over 10 hours, so it isn't actually a full 12 hours yet, but I mean, I'm so tired, I've got to go to bed. You guys, look at what is happening here. What is this? I am super matte. I have only produced sort of small amounts of oil. The foundation is looking really, really good. There is kind of like a little bit of kind of like maybe creasing and settling, you know, just through my forehead here. But the areas where the oil has come through, like, dang, they look good. Very smooth. A little bit shiny on both sides of my nose, but the rest of my skin, I'm not oily at all. Like, what is happening here? All right, so here is my skin close up, and many apologies again for how husky my voice is. I'm losing it for whatever reason. Damn, like it is matte. The foundation hasn't separated, it hasn't caked, it stayed in place. There's been no transferring or anything. There might be a little bit of caking just kind of like in this area, but the rest looks really freaking good. I can't believe like the lack of oil through my T-zone. Like, what is this? Now, obviously, because today we used it with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer and also the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder. So those are two of the products that I know and swear by in terms of controlling oil and keeping makeup looking perfect all day long. But I honestly didn't expect the results to be this good, like not this good. Hey guys, so we are back for day 3 of testing, and what I think I'm going to do is on this side of my face, no primer and no powder. I'm just going to apply the foundation and we're going to see how it holds up all on its own. And then on this side of my face, I'm going to mix it with some products that I typically get quite greasy and oily with. So yeah, let's do it. This honestly feels so weird for me. I never don't wear primer. I'm like, what? But we're going to apply the foundation and we're just going to see how it sits on the skin. And then, yeah, on the other side, I might use the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer. I do typically get fairly shiny with that one. And a lot of foundations, like because I do get so shiny, a lot of foundations do break up when I apply them over top of that primer. So I'm going to, yeah, test it over that one and we'll see what happens. The foundation's actually applying really nicely on my skin without a primer. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's still really smoothing. Damn, I didn't expect it to look that good. There you go. Looks quite smooth. It looks really very much the same as it has the other days. So yeah. Interest sake, it's not looking too bad. So yeah, we'll go in with the Laura Mercier primer now. This one's got like a light reflex in it that, like, you know, it's meant to look really dewy and radiant under the skin. And, you know, that's fine. But for some reason, I don't know, my skin just doesn't like the formula. Okay, so the foundation's applying beautifully over a more dewy, luminizing kind of base. If you are sort of more of like a normal skin type or a dry skin type, I would imagine that this is the type of primer that you would typically use. And let me tell you, it looks gorgeous over the top of it. Like really, really nice. All right, so this is what my skin is looking like. We've got no primer on this side. I mean, it still looks really smooth, and I actually don't think there's really too much of a difference to the side with the Laura Mercier primer. What do you think? So primer, no primer. Looks nice. Now, this foundation does set down. We've spoken about that previously in the video. It's sort of like a soft matte velvet finish. It's set down really nice on this side, but because I've got more of like a hydrating kind of dewy, luminous, sort of glowy primer on this side, it actually feels a little tacky over the top of that primer. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Now, what I'm going to do as per every other time, I'm going to go do the rest of my makeup. This side, I'm not going to apply any powder at all, and this side we're going to powder. I might use this sleek powder or something. We'll see. All right, so this is what the foundation is looking like with the rest of my makeup on. Obviously, things blended out better on the side where I've powdered and applied a primer. But to tell you the truth, it isn't looking too bad. Like I said, it dried down to a sort of soft kind of velvety matte finish and dried down enough to the point where I was able to apply products on top without having too much dramas. Now, I will say I did actually set just under the eye area because I put concealer on, and if I don't set it, it creases like a bitch. coverage. So yeah, I did have to do that. So here is the side without primer and without powder. And here is the side with that Laura Mercier primer and the sleek powder. So yeah, I will see you guys again tonight at the end of the day to see how it's all holding up. Hey guys, so I am back with my final thoughts and final check-in on this foundation. And I wasn't lying when I told you that that primer makes me oily. Let's zoom in. Alright guys, so here is my skin close up. On this side of my face, this is where we applied that Laura Mercier primer. Gosh, I couldn't think of it then. And then, interestingly, this is the side where I've applied just the foundation without primer or powder. Now, I did powder this side, but really surprising results. I'm actually less oily, and I feel like the foundation has held up overall better on the side where I didn't apply a primer or a powder. I'm as shocked as you are. That literally never happens with my skin. Overall wear is still just as good as it was yesterday. The foundation has not caked, has not transferred, has not separated. It looks really, really nice on the skin. The only thing is that I have produced a lot of oil through the T-zone. I don't know if you can see how shiny my nose is. It's always hard to tell on camera. The studio light's drying it all out, but you could literally see your reflection in my nose right now. But I gotta tell you, despite that, this looks good. This looks seriously crazy good. So what we're going to do now is just have a quick go at touching up. I'm just going to take some blotting papers first. These are the ones by Fenty. I can't find my NYX ones. They're probably somewhere in the pigsty that is my filming room right now. You should see it. I'm going to take a lot of this because, girl, we are oily. So let's try blotting the nose first. You guys are going to, a lot of people are like, that's so disgusting. But this is where it's at. Yep, how you doing? Hi. It's like a bit of baking paper, a bit of grease. Where's your bacon? Let's fry up on my face. It looks like the foundation is holding up really well through this blotting though, which I like to see. Oh shit, it hasn't broken up at all. There is a small amount of caking on my top lip. I couldn't see that before because all of that oil was kind of there disguising it. There ain't nothing like going in for seconds. Hey. Oh, look at that. That's hot. Okay, so I feel like my skin is looking fairly good now that I blotted. I feel like it does look fairly cakey around my mouth. You can see a bit of texture there. Let's quickly try using a powder and see if that changes anything. Oh yeah, that seems to have fixed it fairly well actually. I'm just using the Maybelline Fit Me powder again. I freaking love their stuff. Okay, so here is my skin after touching up. So with no primer at all, and then with a dewy sort of luminous primer and a sort of lightweight kind of dewy kind of powder. I'd say both sides look exactly the same at this point. Damn. So there you have it, guys. Those are my results after wearing this new Maybelline foundation for 3 days. I gotta tell you, she passes the test. I think that this foundation is incredible. It's extremely full coverage. It's extremely long wearing. It looks beautiful on the skin. It smooths everything out. It mattifies. It's comfortable. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey. I didn't find that it really separated at all. And this paired with my Holy Grail Hourglass primer and my Holy Grail Laura Mercier powder, holy crap. I was so matte, and I feel like I checked in after 10 hours of wear and I was just matter than matte. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. It touches up really well. How good does my skin look again? It looks like I've applied a fresh face of foundation. Drugstore. You've changed so much. You've come so far. So yes, this one is oily skin approved, guys. I didn't find that it clung to any dry patches. So also if you have drier or normal skin types, I think you're going to love this one as well. If you want a really good, affordable, full coverage, perfecting, mask, Photoshop face of foundation, you're going to like this one. And it definitely kicked Hooter's butt. Sorry, Hooter. See ya. So thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you did enjoy it, please give it a huge thumbs up. It really, really helps me get my content out there. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and join our little family here. It means absolute well to me. So yes, let me know what products you want reviewed next. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Bye!